In this episode of Just a Tip, we talk about supersetting. So supersetting and the use of supersets has been a long time used in the bodybuilding and bro community to try and drive, and further muscle gains and improvements. And we're going to talk about a little bit quickly about if it's sort of warranted or not. So the purpose of, or the mindset, or the goal of the superset is traditionally has been to try and fatigue the muscle fibers and try and fatigue as many muscle fibers as possible to drive further growth. So usually, for example, a bench press would be supersetted with some dumbbell flies, so that you can further stress and further stimulate the chest muscles, and then therefore get the chest muscles to grow. So in effect, what this is relying on is the principle of causing metabolic fatigue for the muscle, and therefore causing the fibers to fatigue and tire out, and therefore cause further gain. And not that supersetting itself is bad or useless or anything like that, not at all. It can have its place in the training program for certain muscle groups and certain situations. However, it's probably not as effective or as important, or maybe it's been put a little bit to the forefront, a little bit to the top of the totem pole, as it should be. It should be, whereas it needs to be sort of down here somewhere. It's been placed up here in regards to how important it is to training and how effective it is to progress. The problem with supersetting things like that is, in a way like that, supersetting the exercise of the same muscle group, is that once you go to your next exercise that you're supersetting with, chances are you're gonna be dropping the amount of weight that you can use for that exercise. What this means is that the mechanical tension on the muscle for that exercise drops, and because you're dropping the load, not only does mechanical tension drop, but also the total volume that you're going to end up doing also drops. And above all else, probably volume, intensity, frequency, those things are the most important as far as training goes. And in this case, volume definitely is the most important, especially for hypertrophy and strength gains. So by you doing, say, with the bench press and then going on to do some flies afterwards, the amount of weight that you can use on the flies is going to be substantially less than what you can actually handle. So the amount of mechanical tension that you end up placing on the pecs is not going to be the amount that you can actually do. So the total volume will drop in the big picture. What you would be probably better off doing is doing the bench press, and then having that normal rest that you have between sets and between exercises, and then going on to do your flies. If you want to incorporate supersets for whatever reason, you could probably do it in another way that is probably a little bit better, and that is by supersetting. So what we do here with our exercise designs is we superset opposing muscles. So if we do leg extensions, we superset that with hamstring curls, because the hamstring curls is not going to impede on the performance of the leg extensions, so the quads, and vice versa. So in each subsequent set, we don't have to drop weight off the stack just to be able to get the required reps that's been prescribed on the program itself. And you can do the same thing with other opposing muscles. So biceps can be supersetted with triceps. They can even be supersetted with delts. Things like that can be done. Back with chest, and so on. So it's probably a little bit of a more smart program design, because supersets can be very important in cutting down the length of time you have to dedicate to your training for that one session. You can get more work done much quicker. So if you superset opposing muscle groups, you can keep them pretty fresh in between sets and be able to smash them out. But if you superset the same muscle groups, then you can sometimes have problems in regards to keeping the same weights that you need to be keeping from set to set. Try that out, let us know how it goes.
So here, line on your side, leg straight up, and back.